Welcome back to another episode, a scouting episode, and we're going to look at why exactly did Chelsea want to sign Samu Omorodion. So if you are new here, what I do, my name's Antonio Mango, and I just scout, analyse, and tell you the strengths and weaknesses of all the best upcoming wonder kids from around the world. So make sure you drop a like and a subscribe so you don't miss out on any episode. As I mentioned earlier, in today's episode, we are going to look at exactly why Atletico Madrid signed Samu so early on in his career and why Chelsea are wanting to sign the striker. So first of all, as always, let's have a look at exactly who is Samu. I'm going to call him Samu because it's a lot easier to say, so that'll do me throughout this episode. But Samu was born on the 5th of May in 2004. He was born in Spain to Nigerian parents. That makes him eligible for both Spain and Nigeria, but he has been representing Spain at under 19 level and under 21 level as well. Born in Melilla, Spain, before moving to Sevilla at a young age. And then from there, he joined a local team called AD Nervion before joining Granada's youth setup in 2021. In 2022, less than a year later, made his senior debut for Granada's reserve team. In his debut season with Granada's B team, he scored 18 goals, and that attracted interest from both La Liga clubs and Premier League clubs. On the 14th of August 2023, Samu made his first team debut in a game against Atletico Madrid, where he started and scored an equaliser, which ultimately got him the move to Atletico Madrid. Less than a month later, Atletico Madrid signed Samu on a permanent deal, signed a 5-year contract, but he was loaned out to La Liga side Deportivo Alaves. Then his performances in La Liga for Alaves have been hard to ignore, scoring 9 goals in 22 starts and finishing the campaign as their top goal scorer, which has sparked speculation of a move to Premier League club Chelsea. So I'm going to talk about what he would bring to Chelsea, his strengths, his weaknesses, his instincts on the pitch, and generally what he's all about. So firstly, Samu is a specimen of a man. Standing at 6'4", he's got a muscular build. He's got big, broad shoulders. He makes me look like not even a quarter of a mango. That's what I would look like standing right next to him. What are his strengths? Well, his physicality, his athleticism, his positioning, the pace in which he moves, his movement, his work rate, and his link-up play is not too bad either. So what's he like out of possession in the build-up phase? Well, he's got extremely intelligent movement, and he's actually really, his pace and his acceleration is unbelievable for a player of his size. He's like a 100-meter sprinter once he gains momentum. Most of his activities come in the opposition half, specifically in the final third. His ball movement, his positioning, his anticipation are some of his very best strengths. Most of his work does come in the central areas, but the pace in which he moves causes opponents real problems. Consistently on the move, and as a result, it consistently tests his opponent's concentration, stamina, and any lapse in any of those, he's there to take advantage. Positioning is one of his greatest strengths, and he's a man-mountain of a player, so he does exceptionally well to create separation from his marker. He's involving himself in the build-up play. What I like about him is he doesn't come as far deep as like Harry Kane, but he'll happily come and collect the ball. He averages a large amount of duels per 90, whether that be on the ground or aerially. But he does happily come and collect the ball. And most of his combinations play come in short 1-2 combinations. But what I love about him the most, if he plays in a 1 short 2 combination or lays a ball off for a teammate, he turns around and he absolutely sprints towards goal. Most of our players would either labour looking for a return ball, but he shows great desire in wanting to get in the box, wanting to get in goal scoring opportunity positions. Because positioning is one of his greatest strengths, he's an outlet for teams that are got the back of the ropes, or just to give defenders some respite, if you will. So he does well in holding the ball up, and he's uses physicality, he gets in front of his markers. He's extremely difficult for defenders to contain. What I love about him is he's extremely unpredictable as well. He doesn't always come to show for the ball. He sometimes plays on the last man and uses his brute force and his power to get in behind and latch onto loose balls. He's extremely dangerous when he latches onto loose balls. Because he's constantly on the move and looking to break through the lines, it causes real problems for the opponent's shape, whether that be pulling opponents out of position, bringing them out of their defensive line, and that creates higher chances, more space for teammates to roam into, or for him to use his brute strength to just power through. What's he like in possession? Well, he's not going to create a handful of chances per 90, but he is a brilliant in-box finisher. Or should I say, getting in the opportunities to finish. So when he's dribbling, he's not an agile dribbler. Actually, he's quite, when I think about it, he is quite agile for a big lad, but you're not going to see him do a Messi dribble or a Neymar dribble. He more dribbles with brute force and tries to plow through his opponents. The most technically gifted player where it's elegant and pleasant on the eye. He just uses power and strength as he moves with the ball forwards. This means he can be a threat at any time of the game. And what I love about him, no matter how many opponents in front of him, it could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 5. He has a tendency just to have tunnel vision and just drive towards goal. If you afford him space to move into, he has a huge impact in transitions. As I mentioned earlier, as part of the build-up phase, he does well in holding the ball up. He's great with his back to goal. He does well as bringing other players into the game, but his final decision-making and his final ball hugely lets him down. And sometimes he can make the wrong decision or get stuck in two minds, and that can let him down a lot. He just needs to show more composure and concentration on the ball. But once he's around the 18-yard box, his only instinct is to get a shot off. He makes small and sharp movements as he approaches goal. When he spots an opportunity for a teammate to find him in space, he will change the line of his direction and running and acceleration into that space, giving the defender less chance to react. He does brilliant at pointing exactly where he wants the ball and just using his brute force to get in front of the defender. The anticipation and reaction speed is actually really impressive. He's pretty much excellent when escaping his marker and anticipating a pass or a cross. His reaction speed is brutal. So when you combine clever movement with good finishing, it makes for a deadly combination. The thing about him is when the ball arrives, it's the speed in which he shoots. It offers defenders and goalkeepers little time to adjust and react. So what I'm trying to say is he very rarely overplays when he's inside the penalty area. The combination of his conviction in front of goal as well as the hunger to score goals makes it really difficult for defenders to contain him. When he's in that penalty area, he's a consistent threat. And if you look at his shot map, the majority, apart from a handful, have come from inside the area. He loves to be in that 18-yard box. And with his presence, it's frightening for defenders. So as always, with youngsters or any player that do come with weaknesses, and you've got to remember he is only 20 years old, and for his frame, he's actually got very unique qualities. So I did touch upon one earlier. Sometimes his decision-making can let him down. That final ball or trying to create a chance, he does overthink it and sometimes gets caught in two minds. He'll not always be involved in the build-up. Sometimes very, very rarely. But when he does, his short passing can be very good. But like I say, he just needs to be more savvy with his passing. There's a lot of rawness to his game. Sometimes his first touch can be very raw as well. There's show signs of being a top-class finisher, but there is moments where he does lack that concentration or composure to finish those chances in the penalty area. Sometimes he does overthink things. Defensively, well, he's a man-mountain. He's a physical specimen. And he actually does well tracking back and working hard with the press. He's really committed to the press and has a high work rate for somebody of his size. He presses, he joins in lines to maybe be more compact with the group. It's a massive help to any team. And force a turnover high the pitch you've got more chance of scoring. And that's exactly what he wants to do, score goals. So with Chelsea, I can see exactly why they want to sign someone of Samu, because he's got huge potential and he's absolutely frightening for defenders. He's a threat in transitions. He's got good off-ball movement, good anticipation in the box. And if you can just develop his composure a bit more, you're on for a real big talent. And last season, as Pochettino said, Chelsea did lack a bit of physicality. So their signings so far have proven that they're trying to build a more physical profile in their squad. And somebody as forward standing at 6'4", you're not going to be more physical than that. There you go, guys. There's the end of the episode. And yeah, for me, I think I can see exactly what Chelsea are thinking when they sign this bloke, because they've got those nimble, creative playmakers. When you add a brute force like Samu in the middle of that, it's a beautiful combination. You've got a mixture of everything. You've got a mixture of technical players, of balance, of elegance, but you've also got that physicality where if you do need or want to go along a bit, you can, because he's a threat by himself as well. Once again, I appreciate you all watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and any recommendations, drop a comment in the below of who to scout next.